Unabated rant by Trump's aide. Peter Navarro is back at it, and clearly the visuals and the pictures of Prime Minister Modi with Vladimir Putin and Xi Jinping in one frame seems to have rattled the United States, because Navarro is now attacking India again, going on to call India the Maharaja of Tariffs yet again, saying India didn't buy Russian oil before the war, yet again saying that it is India that is fueling the war. That's a claim that has been made, saying problem with India is there is 50% tariff on them, 25% reciprocal, other 25% because they buy oil from Russia. My colleague Rishabh is on the broadcast with us with the details of how this is playing out. And Rishabh, there is a lot of concern coming in from within the United States. We just played out what Jake Sullivan, former NSA, said as well, and he said that this is a massive strategic blunder, that the US is hurting its own chances because of the stand that Trump is taking. Amid that, the unabated rant coming in from Peter Navarro, yet again singling out India and attacking India.
Well, Pratibha, if we talk about Peter Navarro, certain lessons for him. Back in 2021, when the war began, the whole Russia-Ukraine conflict began, to ensure that Europe do not have an issue with the energy supply, the whole of energy, crude oil from the traditional oil exporters, the OIC countries or the Gulf countries who have been sending the oil to India, that was forcibly removed and they were diverted to Europe. And that's when India realized that their interest is at stake. In Russia produces about 11% of oil in the world, and back then it was India that was stabilizing the market. This is none other than the former colleagues of Navarro speaking from the White House, that it is India that is stabilizing the oil supply chain in the world by taking oil from Russia. There were sanctions on Russia. India adhered to those sanctions. The cap on the crude oil per barrel, India agreed to do that. After that comes Trump. Everything is hunky-dory, and suddenly one morning he realizes that, oh, India is buying oil from Russia. Where was Donald Trump when he was happy that things are, being stabilized by India? Where was Donald Trump administration when, their ambassador Eric Garcetti is sitting here in New Delhi in a press conference where all of us were present, gave us a whole yarn on how, in India purchasing Russian oil is not a threat to NATO or European countries. After that, okay, India is purchasing oil from Russia. China is doing that. Europe is taking the LNG. And as External Affairs Minister very correctly said, that the amount of crude oil that India imports from Russia in a quarter is the amount of energy that Europe consumes, Russian energy that Europe consumes over lunch, over one afternoon. But EU is not at a receiving end. China, US understand that cannot be at receiving end. So India is being made.
These antics have been completely inexplicable. In fact, stay with us, Rishabh. Just as you were mentioning, there are also many signals coming in from within the Trump administration as well.